Hi you all, today we'll be designing something that looks like this in the Procreate application for iPad. So grab your Apple Pencil and your iPad and let's get started. Pick out the color from the color circle that you would like to sketch with. Click on the brush tool, find sketching, HB pencil or 6B pencil, whatever you prefer. Click on the wrench, canvas, drawing guide, edit drawing guide, isometric. You can change these settings to your preference. If you'd like to follow along with me, tap on the grid size and select 65. Tap Assisted Drawing. Tap Done. Find the approximate middle, here near the bottom. Count the same number of squares in each direction. If you'd like to make it easier on yourself, stick with an even number. Here I have 14, so I'll go 14 in this direction. Count again to make sure your number is correct. Draw a line here and here so that they meet. Click and hold the eraser tool to get that same brush and erase back any extra. Brush tool, count 14 or whatever your number is up on each of these spaces. Now draw a line so that each of these meet. Good. Erase back any extra. You can zoom out with your 2-finger pinch if it helps you. Draw along these edges to create a 3D effect. Switch back to the brush tool to do so. Remember, this part is just the sketch and it does not have to be perfect. Click on the Layers panel, tap on this large N, and bring that opacity down. Plus symbol to add a new layer. For those of you who would not like a cube-shaped room, but perhaps a rectangular prism or some other shape, click on the wrench, canvas, drawing guide, edit drawing guide, isometric. You can change these settings as you like. If you'd like to follow along with me, tap on grid size and select 65. Tap Done. Make sure to turn on assisted drawing. You can change the color of the lines if you like. Tap Done. Pick the color you'd like to sketch with and choose a sketching brush, whatever you like. Find the approximate middle. Count the same number in both directions. Here I've counted 14 again, so 14 this direction. 14 and 14. Draw the crossing lines so that they meet. And erase back any extra. Now draw your room as tall as you'd like it to be. Brush tool to do so. Here I've counted 16 blocks. And I could do the same from this point here and this point here. However, I will use the isometric grid to help me. From this top point, draw a faint line this direction and this direction as well. Next, draw a line up from each of these points to find where they meet. Next, use the eraser tool to bring back any extra lines that you don't need. Click on the brush tool and add the 3D effect here by extending this out 1 or 2 blocks, whatever you like. Here I've just done 1, but you can do more than that if you prefer. Click on the Layers panel, tap on this large N and bring the opacity down. Plus symbol to add a new layer. If you would like to skip the part where we draw the base sketch for the room, either a cube or a rectangular prism, feel free to visit the link and download whichever one you prefer to continue working on. Choose your preference for your room's basic shape, and let's go. Since we've already built the walls, let's begin to add windows. Click on the Layers panel and tap on Begin here. Select Drawing Assist. It should say Assisted. Let's begin by making some windows. I'll make mine 3 up. Draw a faint line from one side of the room to the other. For this window, let's create a little bay nook. If this is 14 by 14, the middle one should be 7, 2, 4, 6, 7. Draw a straight line up, faintly. For mine, I'll take 2 blocks off of each side on either side of the wall here. So a faint line up, faint line up. And from the top, I think 2 blocks will be sufficient for mine. So all the way across to connect them. And erase back any extra lines that you get. Like for example, that one for me is too much, and that one there. You can also erase back the guideline that we made. Here and here. Here as well. Good. For mine, I think it will stick out from the edge of the wall, so I'll go out 2 or 3 blocks. You can do the same or make yours different. So I think for mine, I'll make it 2 blocks out. Hop back over to the brush tool, draw a line 2 blocks out, straight up. 2 blocks here so we won't see it out there. And 2 blocks across. So if we took 2 blocks off on this side and 2 blocks off on this side, that's 4 blocks from the 14 blocks in total. So now we're left with 10, which means the center of the window here will be 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, straight up. If we took 2 off the top and 3 off the bottom, that's 5 from 14 blocks, so that's 9 blocks. 4.5 will be the middle of this part here. 2, 4.5. If you don't like something, 2-finger tap to undo and just try again until you do like it. And remember, it does not have to be perfect. This is still just the base sketch. So for mine, I think I will make across here and here to find the midpoints. So if this is 5, 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Try again if you don't like something. And from here, it would be a little bit more tricky. So we'd have 2.25. So 2 and a little bit over. And that'll be fine for me. And that's about right there. Maybe right there, actually. So now we've got the basis for the frame of this window. Great. Click on the Layers panel, plus symbol to add a new layer. Tap on this layer, Drawing Assist. You can click on the large N on this Begin Here layer, bring the opacity down, and let's map out this window just a little bit better. So here is a line, and here is a line, all the way to here. Up, meet that 2, up, and across. So this part's the window frame. Let's finish the wall here. This line should extend all the way out here, down, over, and then up. Good. Here this can go in. Just draw that faintly. We will add some cushions or something else here in a little bit. So here at the edge we can begin to add the border of the window frame. So here I'm just adding it very thinly. You can do more or less, whatever you prefer. And I'll just trace the outside of each of these blue lines and erase back all extra. Now the brush size might be a bit big, so I'll bring it down. Just keep your opacity at 100% so that your lines will not become see-through. And I do think I like that extra edge up there at the top, so I will keep it. Here, just trace these again. Try to keep that same thickness. And remember to 2-finger tap to undo whenever you just don't like something and want to try again. It's no big deal. Click and hold the eraser tool to get that same brush tool. Bring the brush size down as needed, but keep your opacity at 100%. And take out any of these extra pieces that are going to be unnecessary. Once again, this is still just the base sketch, but we're taking away the pieces that we won't need to help with readability later. That way we'll be able to trace the right parts. As you're designing your dream room, be thinking about what objects you'd like to put in it, as well as what kind of colors you'd like to use. As you can see, I like to sketch with blue, and blue is one of my favorite colors. So my room might end up being a little bit blue, and that's all right. It's my dream room. Click on the Layers panel, plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on this layer and turn on Drawing Assist. You can move your picture over with 2 fingers and turn off this layer to check to see if you've gotten all those pieces, and I think I have. So I'll go ahead and swipe and delete this. You can keep all of your layers if you prefer, but as we go on, it might become more and more difficult, so just keep that in mind. Click back on this layer and erase back any pieces that you missed. For this wall over here, you can include some windows if you like, or design something else. For this space, I think I'm going to include a recessed bookshelf as well as possibly a recessed closet. Click on the Layers panel and make sure you're on your new layer, and I am now. So for me, 2 blocks in, and using the brush tool, a light line here. I think I would like my bookshelf to be around 3 blocks wide, so a light line here as well. 2 blocks from the ceiling top, right about there. And maybe I will keep the same design and do 3 blocks up. I think that will look nice. So I can erase back these lines if I need or want to, using a much larger eraser size. So here I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, and 9. To make this a little bit easier on myself, I think I will take that last block and turn it into a drawer. Something like this. 2 drawers. I'll need to add a handle on each side. And then 2 blocks up, there's 1 part, 1 shelf. 2 blocks up, 1 shelf. 2 blocks up, 1 shelf. Now this goes 1 block in, so I can include that right there. 1 block in, there, and that line up as well. 1 block in, over, and up as well. And 1 block in, over, and up as well. Once again, click on the Layers panel, tap on this large and turn it down if it helps you. Plus symbol to add a new layer, tap on this new layer and select Drawing Assist. Now trace the parts that you'd like to keep in the picture. So for me, I would like this outer edge. I would like this middle line. For the drawers. And I'd like to bring my brush size down and create a bit of a lip for each of these shelves. So that means I'll go a little bit further up. To create some depth. This bottom one needs to be a little bit thicker. Create a lip, an edge to the shelf. Trace that line in. Bring the brush size up if you need to. And make sure to include this inside seam, this inside line. Click on the Layers panel, turn off that bottom layer to make sure you've gotten all the pieces that you want, and swipe to delete it if you prefer. Plus symbol to add a new layer, click on this layer and select Drawing Assist. Now add something over here in this space. It can be a kind of closet or a door, maybe this is the entrance to the room. For me, I think I will utilize this space for the closet. So for me, 2 away from my bookshelf, but 2 from the ceiling. Bringing that brush size way up again. Oh, too much. 2 from the ceiling, and 2 in on this side. So for me, this will be a closet space. I'll make this bottom portion some drawers. So 2, 4 up for the drawer space. If you accidentally undo something, just go ahead and add it back in. Actually, I think this will be 3 up for the drawer space. And it will be 1 back, following this wall without any extra recess, and up. So for me, there will be a pull up here to hold the clothing. So I think mine would start right here, and I would just extend it all the way over. And I'll probably have to round that out outside of the isometric grid. So here, just create a kind of box inside of this shape for the drawers. I think mine will be about 2. Find the crossing lines, 2 and 4. So my middle should be right about here. But I think I'll push it just a little bit further to the right. Add anything else there that you'd like to and erase back any extra. Now for this one, I don't feel the need to go over this sketch with a new sketch, so I'll skip that part. But if you do, go ahead and do that now. For this last one that we did, there's something extra floating there, first of all. So I've clicked on the ribbon or selection tool on freehand with no color fill, and I'm going to try to find that and get it out of here. Arrow tool to get out of that. Swipe and duplicate. Merge those two together. Whenever you have a line that's just too faint, go ahead and do that. So now I've got my three kind of wall elements. I can merge these three together, hide and show just to make sure that that's right, and it is. Now we've got the cube sketch and the wall elements. Plus symbol to add a new layer, tap on this layer and select Drawing Assist. I think that for me this space would make a really nice writing area. So even though I think I'll add cushions here to make this a seating area, I think this will also be a writing area. So for me, I think that the bed will probably go along this wall or here. Brush tool, 3 up, 6 over, 6 down, and connect those lines. So 2, 4, 6, 8 over, and I'll connect these lines. Now you can make your bed a single bed, a double bed, a bunk bed, a lofted bed, whatever you like. Now for this, I do want to raise one edge as the headboard. So I think I will lift this up by 1 on both sides, find the middle. So 2, 4, 6, 7. So that's 3.5. Lots of math in this one, right about there. And go up probably at least 2. Layers panel plus symbol, and cross over each of these points. 1, 2, 3. Leave the pencil on the screen. It should say Art Created at the top. Now you can edit shape to however you think it should be. Zoom in if it helps you to find those points. So right there, that's a little extra there. Right there, and right there. Click on the Layers panel, switch back over to this layer, and erase back any extra. Let's make this part a little bit more 3D, so we'll add a little extra to each side to add some depth in there. So right there, and then over like that. Click on the Layers panel, swipe and duplicate this layer we made before, arrow tool, and push it over. Now if your snapping is on, it could get annoying, so go ahead and turn that off. Tilt this as needed, and find where they meet. That looks good to me, and I can add in that extra bit. Click back on the Layers panel, tap back on the bed layer, and erase back any extra again. For this part, let's lift it off the ground some. Brush tool, draw a line across here and here, and now we can add in the legs. I think these are extra for me, so I'll take them away. Here and here. You can pinch these ones to merge them together. That's the bed layer. Plus symbol to add a new layer. Tap on this layer and select Drawing Assist. Add in any other extra elements that you'd like. For example, I think over here I'll add in a little writing desk, or perhaps over here. I think mine will be over here. So let's see, I'll go 3 up on the brush tool, 3 up, 4 over, and form a rectangle. So 2 out, up, connect those lines, over, and connect it. To make this a little writing desk, I'll just bring back some of these. Click on the Layers panel, tap on this large N and bring this down. Plus symbol to add a new layer. Tap on this layer, Drawing Assist. You're on the brush tool. And draw your little writing desk however you'd like it to be. You can look at pictures on Pinterest, IKEA, whatever you like to get some inspiration. So this is 2, so we connect there. Just make sure to count your blocks so that it makes sense. Click on the 2 squares, swipe and delete the guideline layer. So for this one, I'm going to move it a little bit further away from the wall. So arrow tool, slide it over. Perhaps try it a different direction. Maybe I will put it in front of the window, who knows? When you have your shapes, just move them around, play, have fun, and see what looks nice to you. Click on the Layers panel, tap on your bed layer, arrow tool, and flip it around. Maybe it looks better in this direction. And for me, this might be the better option. Move the pieces around until you like the position, and keep adding furniture wherever you like. Layers panel plus symbol to add a new layer, click on this layer and Drawing Assist. So here I'm doing a 3 up, 2 across, and 3 across. Connecting those spaces again. Making that line there, but continuing to go up probably another 3. Arrow tool to move it around. This will be my fish tank. I think my fish tank will go right about there. Click on the Layers panel plus symbol to add a new layer. Tap on this layer, Drawing Assist. Using the brush tool, place a chair wherever you'd like it to go. Mine will be right here in front of my desk. So I'll make it 2 by 2. Up 5. And across. 2 here, 2 down, 2 over. Click on the Layers panel, tap on the large N and bring the opacity down. Plus symbol to add a new layer. And draw the chair into this space. You can use Drawing Assist if you'd like, or freehand it. Click on the Layers panel and hide the elements that are in the way, as needed. So here I've added a tiny bit of a cushion to this chair, by lifting it up just a little bit. If you'd like to cut out a space here, you absolutely can. I think I'll actually extend mine to add the cushion to these top areas. Click on the Layers panel and hide the guideline layer. Swipe to delete this if you like the results, and turn the other layer back on. Place the chair wherever you'd like it to go. Let's begin to erase back some of the things that are unnecessary. Click on the Layers panel and tap on this layer right above the sketch layer. Eraser tool, and erase the lines that are in the way of other objects. Bring up the brush size as needed. Click on the Layers panel and go to the sketch layer. Make sure to erase back those unnecessary lines as well. Anywhere they cross over the objects in front. Click on the Layers panel and tap on any layer that is behind another object. Erase back any extra lines. For this layer, I didn't create very clean lines, so I will clean those up just a little bit. And that is the fish tank. Looks like I accidentally skipped a line right here, so I'll just go ahead and add that in. When you have most of the kind of boxy objects blocked out, let's trace them and begin adding the softer elements. Click on the Layers panel. Merge together the elements that you can, the ones that aren't touching anything else, or the ones that can touch things, like this chair can obviously touch that desk. Now our three layers are furniture, the wall elements, and the original cube. Bring down the opacity of all of your elements by tapping on the large N and dragging that bar to the left wherever you're comfortable with it. You can swipe right to highlight each of these blue and tap Group. Click on this V shape to hide the group. Plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on this layer, Drawing Assist. Choose whatever color you'd like the lines to be. I think I will select a kind of dark gray blue. You can use the same pencil you've been using if you'd like, or change it to a different pencil. I myself have switched to inking and technical pen. Make sure your opacity is 100%. Test out the brush size, and choose what you like. Here I've selected 8% for the brush size, and the opacity is 100%. Now trace all of the elements that you see here. I think I'll do mine by magic. Alright you all, I have finished tracing all of my hard edges as far as those that follow the grid. I have also added a new layer and drawn in these sort of subtle curves. Then I merged those layers together. Swipe and lock this layer if you prefer. This group is hidden because we no longer need it. You could swipe and delete this if you like. I might leave mine for a little bit, just in case I want to get that back. Plus symbol to add a new layer. Let's not turn on Drawing Assist just yet. Choose another color to add in the softer elements. This is just for visibility so that you can see what you're working with. If you prefer, switch back to the sketching 6B pencil or whatever you were working with before. Let's start by adding in handles wherever they should be. You can make a perfect circle for this if you like. Tap Edit Shape to move it to where you want it to be. Use the ribbon with freehand and no color fill. Wrap it around that shape. Tap on the gray circle, swipe down. With 3 fingers, all together, tap Duplicate. Move this to wherever you'd like it to be. You can use snapping and magnetics to move it along the same line if you prefer. It will snap to the grid. If you don't like the placement, move it around until you do. Tap on the Layers panel, 2-finger pinch to merge them together. Swipe and duplicate. Arrow tool to move them down. Arrow tool to get out of that. Click on the Layers panel and pinch to merge them together. Great. If you need to adjust them any further, tap on the arrow tool and move them to where you think they should go. Arrow tool to get out of that. Use a reference photo if you prefer to draw in some clothes to your closet. Start with the hangers if that's what you use. And add your clothes to the top of it. Remember to keep things kind of at an angle, but don't worry too much about this. It's just for fun. When you've added as many clothes to your closet as you'd like, let's move on. Add whatever you'd like to your bookcase. You can use the isometric grid for this if you prefer. Click on the Layers panel, plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on this layer and select Drawing Assist. It should say Assisted. Here I've created a stack of books, and now I'll make some books on their sides. Use references whenever needed, and just try to map out the basic shapes for now. You can add toys or figurines, ornaments, whatever you like. Add a new layer to do that. So I'll add an ornament or a figurine or something here later, a pop Funko, whatever I want. So I'll leave that space empty for now. Perhaps I'll include an open book here where the picture is facing out. I think that's all the books I'll add to that space, and I have an extra mark here, so I'll go ahead and erase that back. Let's keep moving through all of these and adding pieces wherever we want them. Click on the Layers panel and plus symbol to add a new layer. And here, go ahead and add whatever you want. For example, I want that open book. Brush tool. And create the book however I want it to be. Add whatever you want in these spaces. Maybe a plant if you'd like it to fit the isometric grid. Click on the Layers panel plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on the brush tool and find the brushes that I sent you, the circle stamps. Here we'll use the circle floor and ceiling stamp. Place the stamp wherever you think it should go. Arrow tool on uniform to make it smaller. And let's put a plant in this space. Turn off snapping and magnetics if they get annoying. Click on the Layers panel, swipe, duplicate, merge them together, swipe, duplicate, arrow tool, and drag it up using snapping and magnetics to create a pot. Brush tool again, find your sketching brush, mine is 6B pencil, and connect those pieces together. Click on this lower layer eraser tool and erase back the part that you don't need. Two-finger pinch to merge them together. Arrow tool, place your pot wherever you want it to go. Turn off snapping and magnetics whenever you need to. Zoom into this space and add with your brush tool whatever you'd like. For example, perhaps a teddy bear or a doll or something like that. Erasing back any part that you don't need, as always. Use references whenever you want to. I'm going to make different handles here, so Layers panel plus symbol, tap on this layer, drawing assist, and this time there'll be long handles. Layers panel plus symbol, zoom into this space, add whatever you'd like to in your shelves. As always, use drawing assist whenever needed. Layers panel plus symbol, drawing assist, for a nice laptop. Complete the screen if you'd like. Layers panel plus symbol. You can switch to the Iso Dream Room circle if you'd like to. To add a circle, swipe, duplicate, arrow tool, snapping, and magnetics if it helps you, and make a small mug. Switch back to the sketching brush that you were using before to complete the mug. Add a little handle if you like. Let's keep going. I see that I missed a line here, so I will switch over to my inking technical pen. Go back to that layer. And fill it in. Swipe and lock that, get back to the top layer, switch back to the other color and the other brush, and we're back in business. Here I'd like to add a cushion or several cushions, so draw a line, leave the pencil on the screen, it straightens itself out, draw a line again, and again, edit shape as you need to, and here next to each of these, we'll actually draw another line to indicate there's a break in the cushion. Erase back any lines that you don't need. And let's keep going. Click on the Layers panel plus symbol to add a new layer and add in some pillows or blankets, whatever you like, to your bed. Try to follow the isometric grid as best you can, but it's not that important. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can add little buttons to these cushions if you like. Click on the Layers panel plus symbol to add a new layer. Tap on this layer, Drawing Assist. Here above the window, I'd like to add a curtain rod. If you'd like to do that as well, follow along. Plus symbol to add a new layer. Here we can add some sort of little circles to the ends. You can make them perfect circles if you like. Layers panel plus symbol to add a new layer. And let's draw in some curtains. They don't have to be perfect, they don't have to be long or short. It's whatever you prefer for your dream room. Add posters, light fixtures, animals in the fish tank, whatever you like. And then we'll begin tracing with the inking brush. Click on the Layers panel plus symbol to add a new layer. Draw a perfect circle, leave the pencil on the screen, place a finger on the screen, lift up. Tap on the arrow tool using Distort. With snapping and magnetics turned off, make the circle follow the isometric grid. So here I've got 3 squares, so now this needs to be 3 squares. And this as well. Good. Arrow tool again. Uniform, make it smaller, and add these sort of light fixtures on the wall wherever you would like them to go. There's one. Click on the Layers panel, swipe left, tap Duplicate. Arrow tool. With snapping and magnetics turned on, drag it down. Click on the Layers panel, merge these two together, click on the Brush tool, and connect the lines. You can erase back the parts that won't be seen. And add a little bulb shape. Let's attach it to the wall. So click on the Layers panel, tap on this layer, and select Drawing Assist. Eraser tool to take away pieces that you don't need. Brush tool to add in pieces that you'd like. Click on the Layers panel, tap on this layer, and turn off Drawing Assist. Add in the rounded parts wherever they should go. Click on the Layers panel, swipe left, tap Duplicate. Tap on the arrow tool and move this to wherever you'd like it to go. Arrow tool to get out of that. Click on the Layers panel plus symbol to add a new layer. Tap on the Brush tool, and if you'd like to add some strings for lights. If this isn't your thing, you don't need to do this part. And for me, that one will be behind the drapes. So I'll erase that part back a little bit. And maybe some on this side. Erasing this part back a little bit. Continue adding these elements until you're satisfied with the results, and we will begin to trace them. As always, click on the layer and add the Drawing Assist if you'd like it to snap to the grid. Here I'm making a very large rug. And erasing back the parts that I don't need. Add a new layer whenever you need to add a new element. Use the circles whenever you can. Here I'm adding a round rug to this space over here. Use the eraser tool to erase any elements that you don't want. And let's keep going. When you have enough of these elements added into this space, you can merge them all together. Click on that large N, lower the opacity to whatever you're comfortable with, plus symbol to add a new layer. Switch to the color that you have been adding the line art with, and switch to the brush that you prefer. For example, I am using inking and technical pen. Trace all of these lines, and then we'll meet back up to erase the extra. I think I'll do mine magically. Alright, once you have traced all of those lines that you created before, click on the Layers panel and hide that layer to make sure you didn't miss anything. It looks like I'm good to go, so I'll leave that one off for now. At this point, we can unlock this layer, tap on this layer, and use the eraser tool to erase any lines that are now unnecessary. If you'd like to, as a safe editing technique, swipe and duplicate this layer, hide it so you have a copy, just in case you need to get that back, and erase on this new layer. Tap on this layer and turn off Drawing Assist. I think I'll do mine magically. When you've gone through and you believe that you have all of the unnecessary lines erased, just to double check, click on the wrench and find Canvas Drawing Guide. Toggle that off so you can take a look at what you've got so far. For example, I missed a couple of pieces here, so I'll keep working. For readability, I will remove this extra line here because I do not feel that it adds to the piece. Arrow tool and push it off the canvas. Goodbye. Some of my lines are kind of crossing at awkward or irregular angles. When you have lines like that that are too close or kind of converging, see if you can find a way to make them not touch at exactly the same point. Once you have all of the elements where you like them, we'll move on. For me, I like what I'm seeing here. The only thing is I would like to center the entire thing on the canvas. If you need to do that as well, follow along with me. Click on the Layers panel and swipe right on all the layers where the check mark is visible, except for background color because you can't move that. Tap on the arrow tool, click on the lightning bolt, turn off magnetics but keep snapping on, and without touching the blue handles outside here somewhere, push until you find the orange crossing lines. So that's the horizontal and vertical orange crossing lines. There's my vertical one, and the horizontal one is there. When you find your center, click on the arrow tool to get out of that. If you're satisfied with the placement of all of these objects, click on the Layers panel and merge all of the visible layers together. You can swipe and delete the layers that are hidden, as we don't need those anymore. Two-finger pinch to merge them together. Tap on the large N here and change the blending mode to multiply. Tap on the layer, tap it again, rename. Swipe and lock this layer if you prefer, plus symbol to add a new layer. Click and hold this layer and drag it beneath the line work layer. Tap on the background layer and select whatever color you want to be behind the entire picture. For me, I'm choosing to make this a nighttime scene, so I'll choose something from dark purple or blue using Classic. Tap Done. As you can see, now the lines are very difficult to see. However, we will fix this. Click on the color circle and pick whatever color you would like the wall base to be. Click on the ribbon or selection tool with freehand and color fill turned on. Click each of these corners to create a closed shape. At this time, you can change your color around until you like the result. I think I'll stick with this kind of fuchsia color. Click on the ribbon tool to get out of that. Click on the Layers panel, plus symbol to add a new layer. Tap on layer 2, tap it again, select. Turn off color fill. Click back on layer 3, click on the brush tool and find Calligraphy, Monoline. Choose whatever color you would like for the floors to be. With the brush opacity at 100% and the brush size whatever you prefer, create an outline here of the floor. Draw a line and hold it. Good. Repeat this along each edge. Make sure that each of the lines touches the next so that you create a closed shape. Drag this color into the space. Click on the color circle, and if you don't like your color at first, try out a different one until you like the result. Click on the ribbon or selection tool to get out of that. Click on the Layers panel, plus symbol to add a new layer. If you'd like to, you could rename each of these layers to maintain your organization. Click on the color circle and select another color for all of the furniture pieces if you'd like them to match. If you wouldn't like them to match, choose different colors for each of them. And let's keep going. Whenever you can use the ribbon or selection tool on freehand with color fill, do that. As it will save you time and energy. If you're able to put several pieces of furniture on one layer, go ahead and do that. Click on the Layers panel, tap on this layer and rename it if you like. Plus symbol to add a new layer. For these pieces in here, paint them all as one block on a single layer and use other layers with clipping masks to color them. I'll show you what I mean. Click on the color circle. Select a light bright color if you prefer. If you prefer a different color for this, choose something different. Brush tool should still be on calligraphy monoline. Zoom into this space and add the color here. Switch the eraser tool to bring it back where it's unnecessary and keep going. Change the brush size as needed, but leave the opacity at 100%. If Monoline is not small enough for you, switch to inking and technical pen. Whatever you like. Drag and drop to fill the color. Repeat this step on all of the objects in this area that you would like to paint over. If you miss something, just hop back on over to that layer and add it back in. Plus symbol to add a new layer, tap on this layer and select Clipping Mask. Label this one Paint or something to remind you to come back to it. Plus symbol to add a new layer, and let's keep going. Ribbon or selection tool. Change the color while it's still on the ribbon or selection tool to something that you like. Rename your layers as you go to maintain organization. Plus symbol to add a new layer, click and hold this layer and drag it beneath the shelves and furniture, but above the floor. Ribbon or selection tool. First, choose a color for the rugs, at least one of the rugs. Ribbon or selection tool. And click each corner. Change the color while the selection is on to something you prefer. Click on the Layers panel. Rename the layer as needed. Plus symbol to add a new layer. And use Monoline on these round rugs. So brush tool, calligraphy, monoline. Choose a different color. Draw the circle, leave the pencil on the screen. And it snaps saying ellipse created. Tap edit shape and move it to where you think it should be. Drag the color into that space. Same thing over here. Brush tool. Draw a circle, leave the pencil on the screen. Ellipse created. Edit shape. And get them to match the lines. Drag and drop to fill the color. Click on the Layers panel, tap on this layer, rename it. If you'd like to try different colors for something like this, tap on the layer, click Select with Color Fill on, tap on the color circle, and move it around until you find a color you prefer. Click on the Layers panel, plus symbol to add a new layer. Use the ribbon or selection tool with freehand and color fill to select the bed, or at least the pieces of the bed that are left to select. This would be the mattress, the sheets, and the pillows. Click on the color circle and choose whatever color you'd like for this. When you have your color picked out, we'll move on. Click on the Layers panel, tap on this layer and rename it. Plus symbol to add a new layer, tap on this layer and select Clipping Mask. Now color in the pillows and the sheets to whatever you like them to be. You can use the ribbon or selection tool if you prefer. Click on the Layers panel, tap on this layer and rename it. Click on the layer beneath, plus symbol to add a new layer. Use the ribbon or selection tool. Select this part that has been turned over and choose a different color. Let's keep going. You can merge these together if you prefer. Add a layer above desk and chair, and let's brighten up these things here so that we can see them. Use that lighter, brighter color if you prefer. Click on the Layers panel, tap on this layer, and rename it. Plus symbol to add a new layer, click on this layer, Clipping Mask. Rename this layer to something to remind you to come back here later. Click on the Walls layer, plus symbol to add a new layer. Choose a white bright color. Ribbon or selection tool with color fill turned on. To select the window spaces. Click on the Layers panel, tap on this layer, rename it, plus symbol to add a new layer, tap on this layer, rename it to something like Cushions or Details, whatever you like. Click on this layer, Clipping Mask. Select whatever color you would like for the cushions to be, and use the selection tool if it helps you. Click back on the Windows layer, hide this layer, click on the Walls layer, tap on this layer, and select Mask. With black already selected, increase the Monoline tool with the opacity at 100% and cut out the space where the windows are. You don't need to be too terribly precise as long as this area is taken out. You can increase the brush size to erase it all away, or use the ribbon tool on freehand with no color fill. Now that this part has been erased back, to take it out. Arrow tool, push it off the canvas. Show the window layer. Tap on this layer, click on the ribbon or selection tool, zoom into this space, and select the inside of the windows. Arrow tool and push them out of that space. Arrow tool to let them go. Click on the Layers panel, tap on the Cushions layer, plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on the color circle and select a color for your drapes. Zoom into this space and use Technical Pen or Calligraphy Monoline to outline the drapes With whatever color you prefer, just make sure that each line touches the next so that color fill will work properly. Looks like I have this little line, so I'll have to go to that layer and erase that back. Drag and drop to fill the color. And keep going. Drag and drop to fill the color. Click on the Layers panel, tap on this layer and rename it if you like. Tap on the layer beneath it. Here I'm going to erase this back if I can. And it looks like for me it's on the walls layer. So I will try it there. Layer mask and black. I think that's where my issue is. Seems like that's the case. So now I can keep going. Click on the Layers panel. Tap on the Cushions layer, plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on the color circle and find a color for all of the kind of hardware. So the metal parts of the lamp and of the curtain rod. Zoom in and fill in these spaces. Drag and drop to fill color whenever you can. If you don't like the color at any time, tap on the Layers panel, tap on the layer itself, hit Select with Color Fill, and change it until you like the color. So for me, I think I'll make mine much darker. Selection tool to get out of that. Let's fill in the water over here. Click on the Layers panel and find the Shelves and Furniture. Tap on the layer beneath it, plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on the ribbon or selection tool with no color fill. Select the part that would be underwater. Move the color circle around until you like the result. Tap the ribbon or selection tool to get out of that. Tap on this layer and rename it. Plus symbol to add a new layer, tap on this layer. Clipping mask, tap on this layer, rename it to remind you to come back to it later. Click on the Layers panel and find the hardware layer. Tap on this layer and rename it. Right above this layer, add a new layer. Select a color from the color circle for the light fixtures. You can use a color that you've already used if you find one you prefer. Zoom into the space using the brush tool on Technical Pen or on Monoline. Make the selection. and drag and drop to fill the color. Click on the Layers panel, tap on this layer, rename it if you like. Tap the layer beneath it, plus symbol to add a new layer, and find whatever color you want for the light bulbs. Color in that space. I think we've got most of the larger items colored in. So now click on the Layers panel, rename this layer if you like. Go through and find the layers that we labeled paint or whatever you labeled yours, and add the paint to each of these pieces. Remember, we are still just color blocking, so you won't need to add shading and highlighting yet. I think I will start on the objects, so I'll click here. Choose your color from the color circle for each of these objects and paint where you would like. Here I'm clicking on the windows and trying to select a different color for this part of the nook. Maybe something a little bit darker. Try different things on all of these layers and see what you like. Color fill should be on. Grab up the color that you used for this area if you have something similar to mine. Switch over to the painting layer for the base of objects again, and add that in where it should go. Click on the Layers panel and find the next one, wherever yours is. If you ever find issues like this, just grab that color, go to that layer, and fix it. Click on the Layers panel plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on this layer, Clipping Mask. Use your selection tool to select any screens that you might have. And choose whatever color you would like for your screen. Click on the two squares plus symbol to add a new layer. On this layer, create a rectangle and add whatever logo you would like. Arrow tool with the store and guide it to fit in that space. Looks like I still need to do this area. Click on the Layers panel and find that water layer. Click on the paint layer. Using technical pencil, zoom into this space and choose the colors you would like to use. Click on the Layers panel plus symbol to add a layer. Click on this layer, Clipping Mask. Zoom in. Click on the water layer tab, select without color fill. Click on this top layer and drag the color into that space. Click on this layer again, tap the large N, and move it around until you like the results. I think I'll try it on screen. And maybe 55%. But first, I'm going to change the color. So back to normal, click on the color circle and choose a darker color. The top will be lighter and the rest of it will be darker. Color in this space with whichever color you've chosen if you are doing this step. Click on the Layers panel, tap on the large N and change it to Screen or whichever one you selected, and move this bar around until you like the result. I think I like mine around 44%. Tap on the ribbon tool to get out of that. Click on the Layers panel, scroll all the way to the top, tap on Line Work plus symbol to add a new layer. Here you can add plants wherever you added pots. I'm still using the technical pen, but you can use whatever you like. I didn't have any plants here, but I decided to add some, so I will tap on the layer beneath, add a new layer, and draw in some pots. Just barely visible underneath the succulents, but to give the idea that they're there. Click on the Layers panel, tap back on this layer, zoom in, grab up that color, and choose a darker color to add in some texture and variety on the leaves, wherever you think it should go. Click on the Layers panel, tap on the plus symbol to add a new layer here at the very top. Choose a color from your color palette, click on the brush tool, go to luminance and light pen. Play with the opacity and brush size to see what you like and add some lights wherever you think they should go. If you don't like something, two finger tap to undo and try again. I'd like my bulbs to be a little bit bigger and a little bit brighter, so I'll try to do this a little bit more slowly. I think those look pretty good, but now I do feel like it needs it over here, so I'll try to add a few more in and put the string where I think it should go. Click on the Layers panel, find the line work layer, swipe left, unlock. Find the color that you were using for your lines. Find the brush that you were using for your lines. For me, that was inking and tactical pen. And add in a line to indicate the light string, if you also chose to add one there. Alright, you all, I think we've got all of the basic color blocking steps done. We've already added a string of lights, so let's go ahead and do the other lights as well. Click on the Layers panel, click on the very top layer, plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on the Brush tool and select Calligraphy Monoline if you prefer. Zoom into the lights area, grab the color that you used, and choose a slightly lighter, brighter color. Increase the brush size as needed. Add the light bulb in this space. Switch to the eraser tool on Calligraphy Monoline to erase back the extra. Same thing over here. Add the light bulb in this space. Eraser tool on Calligraphy Monoline to erase back the extra. Click on the Layers panel, tap on the large N, and change this to either Screen or Add, whichever you prefer. If you see that you missed any, go ahead and use your eraser tool to bring back the excess. Click on the magic wand, find Bloom, Layer. Bring the burn up to around 45 to start. Put the pencil on the screen and push to the right until you see that start to shine. You can change the burn as needed. And the size as well. So I've got my transition at max, size is 25%, and the burn is around 63. And I think I will leave that around that area, so 66 for me. Tap on the magic wand to get out of that. You can use the eraser tool on Monoline to bring back any of this excess light. Okay, if like me you have run out of layers, no big deal. Swipe to lock that line layer if you did not lock that already. Use your two-finger pinch to merge together the layers that are able to be merged. Undo when you see something doesn't work, like I saw that those lights didn't work together, and that's okay. Plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on the selection tool with freehand and color fill. Zoom into this area from about here, draw a bit of a curve. Zoom in if you need to bring that line up to this space. Draw along the edge and close the shape. Same thing over here. One line here, out a little ways, make a little curve. Zoom in if it helps you to close that space. Click on the Layers panel, tap on the large N, and change this to Screen, or Add, whatever your preference is. Click on the magic wand and select Gaussian Blur, Layer. Place your pencil on the screen and push toward the right until you like the blur. Mine's probably good at around 16%. Click on the Layers panel, tap on the S, and bring that to the left until you like the result. Click on the Eraser tool with Airbrushing Soft Brush. Play with the opacity and brush size as you like, and bring the bottom of this up slightly, rounding off the hard edges. Click on the Layers panel and find layers that you can merge together easily. Like for example, this layer, these three layers here, they can be merged. This can be merged. This can be merged. Always watch out here to make sure that you're not changing anything you don't want to change. These rugs can be merged. The lights and light bulbs. Curtain rods with the lights. Drapes as well. The floor might be able to merge down here with the walls. It seems like it worked. Great. The cushions can merge with the windows. These can probably all be merged together in the aquarium, but I'm going to leave it alone for now. Furniture and shelves. It seems like it can merge. And at this point, since I won't be changing any more of my colors, I can merge these three together as well. So everything on the desk itself, and the shelves and furniture. It seems like that made quite a lot of space for new layers. Though I did find that I missed these books, so I'll go ahead and magically correct that. Click on the Layers panel and scroll all the way up to the top, plus symbol to add a new layer. Grab whatever color you have used in your computer screen or iPad or tablet or phone screen, whatever you have. Use the ribbon or selection tool on freehand with color fill again. And grab one corner of it and then make a wide selection until you reach a flat plane. So for example, that would be right about here. And back. Click on the Layers panel, tap on the large N and change it to Screen, or Add, or Lighten, whatever you like. Bring down the opacity. I think perhaps Add will be best for this one for me. Use the Eraser tool on Airbrushing Soft Brush. First, click on the magic wand and Gaussian Blur to soften those edges. And then use the Eraser tool on Airbrushing Soft Brush if you still need to. Click on the Layers panel and adjust the opacity to your preference. I think I like mine at about 43%, so I'll leave it there. Great job with this, you all. This has been a ton of work, and we still have a little bit more left to do. Let's begin to add the shadows. Click on the color circle and select a color you'd like to try for your shadows. Click on the Layers panel, and here we need to find a logical place to put the shadows. Click on the layer right beneath the line work, plus symbol to add a new layer here. But first, tap on the walls layer, tap it again, select. Make sure color fill is not on. Click on the Layers panel and find that layer again, right beneath line work. Tap on the large N and shift this to linear burn or multiply, whatever you prefer. I'm still using inking technical pen. You can switch to calligraphy monoline if you prefer. Tap on the LB and bring it way down. I'm trying mine at about 30% now, and I'm liking that result way better. Bring the brush size way up and scribble in these spaces or use your quick line tool. Here, I think I will try to use the quick line. Good. Good. Drag and drop to fill the color. Continue adding shadow wherever you think it should go. Check each area to make sure that you've covered all the spaces that you wanted to. Like for example, I missed this part of the closet, so I'm going over it again. For me, I'll have to come back to this area to continue adding shadow because it's covered by the selection. So for me, I think I've gotten almost everything I can with the shadow here, so I will switch over to get this part. Click on the selection tool to remove that selection. Click on Windows, tap on this, select, and go back up to the shadow layer. Continue adding shadow where you need to. So yours might be different from mine. That's just how mine worked out. Click on the selection tool to get out of that. I think I will add just a little bit more shadow over here. Great job with this, you all. It's time to add some shadows to these plants as well. Click on the Layers panel, tap on the Plants layer, plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on the large N and switch it to Linear Burn. Zoom into the plants and add the shadow where you think it should go. Click on this layer and activate the clipping mask. You should see an arrow pointing down. Once again, tap on this layer, change it to Linear Burn, and move this bar to around 30 something percent, whatever you like. Change the brush size as needed, and add the shadow wherever you think it should go. When you've added whatever amount of shadow you'd like to the plants, click on the Layers panel, plus symbol to add a new layer. Click on the large N and select either Screen or Add, whatever you like for your highlights. Click on the color circle and select whatever highlight color you like. I am using Inking Technical Pen. On this new layer, add the highlights wherever you think they should go. Tap on the A and adjust the opacity as you prefer. Change the color if you don't like it. Click on the Layers panel and click and drag this layer beneath the line work. Drag it above the line work and see what you prefer. I think I like mine above the line work. Click on the Layers panel, tap on the Plants layer, plus symbol to add a new layer. You can move this above the shadows if you prefer. Still using inking and technical pen, add the highlights wherever you think they should go on the plants. Once again, tap on the large N and change this to screen or add, whatever you prefer, and bring the opacity down. Okay, four-finger tap on the screen and take a look around, see if there are any issues that need resolving. Four-finger tap on the screen to get back. Feel free to play with the different layers and adjust the settings to your preference. Alright, you all, great job with all of this. We've got the color blocking done, shading and highlighting. We've added plants and other features as well. But I do think this is missing some life, so feel free to add a character or a pet, whatever you like. Click on the Layers panel, scroll up to the very top layer, plus symbol to add a new layer. And here is where you can begin to design your character. Use whatever brush and whatever color you prefer. I'm going to do inking, technical pen, and I think a dark black. But please explore the colors and the brushes and see what you like. Place your pet wherever you'd like them to be. Make sure that they're the right size, and then we'll begin to add highlights. Click on the Layers panel, plus symbol to add a new layer. Find the color that you were working with for highlights before. Click on the Layers panel, tap on the N on this layer, and change it to Add. Zoom in and test that, and adjust the opacity of the layer as needed. Make sure to click on the Layers panel, tap on this layer, and select Clipping Mask so that it points at the animal or the character that you've designed. And add your highlights wherever you want them to be. Click on the Layers panel, swipe and group these together. Tap on that little V shape if you would like to move this character or animal around, whatever you've designed. Feel free to add more all over, wherever you'd like them to be, and adjust the opacity of your add layer as needed. Click on the Layers panel, tap the layer beneath this group, plus symbol to add new layer. Tap on the large N and move it to Linear Burn. Click on the color circle and find the color that you've been using for your shadows. Tap on the LB and move it to where you think it should go, perhaps around 30%. Add a shadow underneath your character wherever you would like it to be. I hope that you all enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know what you thought. See you next time!